Well, welcome to the week 2, part 3 of our college algebra learning guide. If you want a copy of our learning guide, I'll link it in the description below. That way you can download and print a copy, mark it all up with all your good notes from the examples that we're doing. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you get notification every time a new video is posted. And I would love the opportunity to help in any way that I can. So leave some comments. That way I can post more videos about things that you are needing help with. This particular examples, we are going to work on slope from a graph. We're going to talk about equations of lines, and then we're also going to calculate slope from points. Now, this is part 3 of the unit of the week 2 learning guide for college algebra. If you missed parts 1 and 2, I'll link them in the description below. That way you can access them. Also, if you want week 1, where I did a 5-part series with some examples, I'll also link that so that you have access to it. But let's jump in. In our notes box here, I gave us the most common forms of finding the slope, and that is a rise over run. We use this one most often when we're looking at a graph. And then the formula for slope, which we use when we're finding slope from points. So let's jump into number 1 here. We're looking for the slope of this graph. And again, this is where we're going to use that rise over run for our slope. Now, I'm a creature of habit. I like to start with the point that's on the left, the furthest point that's on the left. And notice in this case that it's marked with a dot, like an extra bold dot. It doesn't have to be. Maybe you have to go find which one should have the bold dot on it. Then that's totally okay. But what I do is I start with the point on the left and I ask myself, what do I have to rise or fall to get even with this point? Well, in this case, I'd have to rise 1, 2, 3. I'd have to go 3 up. And because I had to go up, that's a positive 3. And then from there, I would have to run to the right, 1, 2. Now, if you have to go to the left, obviously that would be a negative 2. And if you have to go down, that would be a negative 2 as well. But this, for now, is my slope. Now, let's then look at number 2, which asks us to write the equation in slope-intercept form. Now, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b form, meaning we want to get the y all by itself on one side of the equation and everything else on the other side. So let me walk you through how I do that. I notice that the y is being added by 3x and being multiplied by 4. So I'm first going to take care of adding 3x. I'm going to do the opposite of adding 3x, which is to subtract 3x. Now you'll notice, friends, that I didn't write the minus 3x underneath the 8. And the reason I didn't do that is because 8 and 3x are not what we call like terms. That means I can't subtract them. So I write them just to the side because I want to be aware that I don't actually subtract. Notice that my 3x and my minus 3x cancel. That's by design. That's exactly what we wanted it to do. That leaves me with 4y equals. Now, I like my x's to come first. So the way I write 8 minus 3x is I write negative 3x plus 8. Okay? I like them to come first, and so does the slope-intercept form. So I really like that. All right, now we've got to get rid of this multiply by 4. The opposite of multiplying by 4 is to divide by 4, but I want to show you how I divide by 4. I divide each term by 4. The reason I do that is because it's easier to see things cancel. So now I have y equals, this becomes negative 3/4 x plus, and then 8 divided by 4 is 2. And now I have written it in slope-intercept form. I have it in my y equals mx plus b form. Okay, next, let's find the slope using points. Now, this is where we're going to use our formula y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And you may be saying, well, what is that y2 and what is x2? I'm so glad you asked. Remember that our coordinates are given in xy format. So this is x1, y1, and this is x2, y2. So we just need to put these numbers in the right places. So y2 first. Let me write the formula just so I have it. Okay, y2 is 1, y1 is 3, x2 is 4, and x1 is 0. And now we get to just subtract. So 1 minus 3 gives me -2, and 4 minus 0 is 4. Now, -2 and 4 are both divisible by 2. So I'm going to do that division to simplify. That'll give me -1 on top, and it'll give me a 2 on the bottom so that my slope is reduced to a -1/2. So again, this is another way to find slope when I have 2 points that are given to me as opposed to a graph. Now, if you like the graphing approach, you definitely could get some grid paper, plot those points, and then count your rise and run. I just want you to have options. So let's look at number 4 then. We're finding a slope of this line. Remember, when we look at it from a graph, we do our rise over run. Start with the point furthest on the left. Ask yourself, what do you have to rise or fall to become even with this point? So it's down 1, 2, 3. That means it's -3 because it's down. Then you have to run 1, 2, 3, 4, and you ran to the right, which is positive. So my slope is -3/4. Well, I hope that helps with part 3 of the week 2 learning guide for college algebra. Please stay tuned for more. I've got 6 parts for week 2. But don't forget to like and subscribe. That way you get a notification every time a new video is posted. And leave a comment if there's anything that I can help with. Alrighty. Bye-bye for now.